exciting encounter. It's interesting to see the positions of both teams. Of course, Rangers at the top of the table, Real Westport. I think a team that's steadily improving, and we can see them coming to the forefront here tonight.
All right, let's hear from the coaches now. Ron Laffery of Real Westport and Dave Kwamina of Terminix La Horquetta Rangers.
We're now joined by a team manager of Westport, of course, Gordon Pear. Gordon, an important fixture here for you tonight. How are you going into this one?
Well, it's a very important fixture. It's the big team in the tournament. We always want to bamba with the big boys, and we have to prove that we're worthy to be in the top flight in Trinidad and Tobago football. So this evening we're well prepared. We're coming with a plan. We know that probably they're going to be a little fitter than us, but we're coming with a plan. And if we execute our plan, we're going to come away with all 3 points.
A couple of changes in your lineup since your last fixture. What's the thought process behind some of those changes?
Well, the last fixture, this team is more or less one change we're making here. We're bringing back in Cordell Samian. He was out through COVID protocols, and we're bringing him back inside, and we're leaving out Akil Thomas. But it's like for like, pacemen to really run the flanks, and we're going to look for the goal coming to the centre.
Well, thank you very much, Gordon Pear, and of course, best of luck to you and the Westport team.
Thanks very much.
Team manager replacing Ron Laffery, and we also heard from the technical manager at Terminix La Horquetta Rangers, Anthony Meccano.
We're now joined by Anthony Meccano, of course, the man in charge of the fitness for Terminix La Horquetta Rangers. We've seen several changes within your lineup tonight, rotation, fatigue. What's the reason behind the changes?
I think it's just that we need to manage our athletes. You know, we have a lot of games to go, and it's important that we have the depth that we can manage the team properly and get people to rotate, as you're rightfully saying. That's important.
Well, we've seen Terminix La Horquetta Rangers outlast several of their opponents that they've played so far, of course, down to the fitness. Do you feel that, of course, the fitness work that you're doing is working with the charges that you have?
Yeah, I think it's working. We still have work to do. There's a lot of maintenance we still have to do within the weeks that are coming up. I mean, we have 12 more games to play. It's important that we maintain that fitness. So yeah, it's going to take us some time, but we're going to work on it.
Thank you very much, Anthony Meccano. Of course, all the best to you and Terminix La Horquetta Rangers.
Have a good one.
So we've heard from the team officials. It's time to see the teams in just a bit, as we will shortly introduce you to the lineups. Not a full house just yet at the La Horquetta Recreation Ground. The fans creeping in, but of course the atmosphere here changes in the blink of an eye, and so too the football action. Lots expected on tap with these teams. Terminix Rangers yet to be defeated in this competition. Just one draw at the start of their campaign, and they've since not lost any matches. And Westport, they've got a tough task ahead of them. So first sighting of the match officials for this one. I'll introduce them in just a bit. Terminix Rangers in white, led by their captain, a man who's had his surname mispronounced more than any other surname in the competition, Jamal Crichton. I think we finally got the correct pronunciation. He will lead his charges out. He's played all 5 matches for Terminix Rangers, and he will lead them against a Real Westport team, also stacked with talent.
Yeah, there's been a lot of conversation about the rotation system used by Terminix La Horquetta Rangers. It certainly has not slowed them down by any stretch of the imagination, James. They've plowed through the competition thus far with some really fine performances. But this is a Real Westport team stacked with some potential match winners, no more so than that guy that we just saw in your picture, the captain, Kieran Cummins. Once a member of the Terminix La Horquetta Rangers, but certainly someone that they would have to keep an eye on.
So just the pleasantries being honored by the teams as they meet with the match officials. Very soon we will have the toss, and might be a good time to take a look at the lineups as well, and some very interesting changes being made by both these teams in the competition. Cordell Samuel is back in the lineup for Real Westport as the captains. Jamal Crichton and Karen Cummings have a word with the referee. And from the looks of things, It is Crichton who has won the toss. Let's take a look at their lineup though. And in fact, we'll take a look at Westport's lineup. And Kieran Cummings is expected to lead the attack for them. Cordell Samuel, the striker, is back in the lineup. Ross Dowden, he scored in their last fixture. He is back in the lineup. And of course, they've got the experience of Cornel Thomas in defense. And Jack Poon Lewis is back in goal after missing out in the last match. Well, Terminix Rangers have made 5 changes to the team that got to a 1-0 result against Central Soccer World last week. And Deportivo Point Fortin rather. And Ross Russell Jr. keeps his place. The centre-back pairing of Javon Morris and Leslie Russell have been reintroduced into the lineup. Real Gill keeps his place. Jamal Crichton has played all the matches in the tournament. Maurice Dick makes his way into the lineup together with former TNT international Tyrone Charles. Kyle Thomas, Jamal Francois replaces Kadeem Corbin at the top of the attack, while Jabari St-Hilaire will keep his place in goal. Dave Quamina is the coach of Terminix La Horquetta Rangers. Well, I'll tell you what, the volume is pumped up here in La Horquetta, and the fans are back in the house. Javon Morris, she's getting a jig on. Terminix La Horquetta Rangers in white coming up against Real Westport, the team based with players from the Western Peninsula of Trinidad and Tobago in green. And we are on our way here at the La Horquetta Recreation Ground as Westport look to make the first bit of attack. Lots of changes in the Terminix lineup, Brent Sancho.
Well, normally when you have a situation where a team does such a heavy rotation of players, it sometimes affects the fluidity of their play. We haven't seen that so far from Terminix La Horquetta Rangers. In fact, it's been quite the opposite. They've shown in many of their matches where they've controlled the game and various aspects of the game, and it's allowed them, of course, to be on top of the table thus far. They've really ran away with this competition so far, James.
Well, they've only dropped 2 points so far in the competition as we welcome our viewers in Trinidad and Tobago on CCN TV6. And of course, all across the region tuned into Trinidad and Tobago for the Ascension football tournament. It's the first tournament outside of the post-pandemic lockdown. Mix of professional and semi-professional players. Also has birthed a lot of young talent from the SSFL, Secondary Schools Football League as well.
You know, there's always a concern when there's been such a long layoff for players coming off, not just rust and lack of game and match tempo, but also the advent of injury. But we haven't seen any of that so far, knock on wood. It's been a well-played tournament and a well-put-together tournament as well. Very exciting, different aspects of it. Of course, entertainment after the game. It's a good blend of sports, entertainment, and a good time. You have to admit that it's exactly the type of start that we would need after such a long layoff.
So Tyrone Charles reinserted into the lineup. Well, here's another former youth TNT international. Brendan Creed. So no goal mouth action just yet. That man has hardly been troubled so far in the opening 2.5 minutes. Here's Gill as he kept it in. Kept alive by Russ Dowden. Oh, that's a heavy challenge. Jamal Crichton gets it away. And here's Real Westport, perhaps with the first shot. It's not a shot that will cause Jabari St-Hilaire any nightmares. Certainly stated his intentions early. As Caleb Sturge tries to outfox Cornel Thomas. Real Gill can't get around the big dread. Real Gill certainly has excited this competition so far. 18 years old. And I think it's fair to say he has been one of the young stars of the tournament.
Yeah, certainly has been one of the young players that have caught the eye. Of course, that man Phillips as well from Deportivo Point Fortin. another 17-year-old that's done well, and we've seen some graduation from the SSFL, the likes of Ramdeen and Riley, to name a few. It's really good when you can see that transition, James, from, of course, the SSFL up to what we call big man football in Trinidad and Tobago, or senior football. And it's always going to be a learning process for these youngsters, but we'd have to suggest that they've acquitted themselves very well so far.
Time Thomas get Ross Russell Jr. away, and a dangerous looking cross that Cornel Thomas sends high into the night sky. Experienced defender Cornel Thomas.
He's going to have his work cut out for him here tonight.
Well, he spoke about Jordan Riley. Well, he's certainly cooling down after seeing his team get a 3-0 victory earlier. Of course, Deportivo faced off against Central Soccer World in the opening fixture of the doubleheader, as that one is cleared away by Cordell Samuel. Here's a hard-working player, Samuel. On the wrong end of 30, 37 now. Has played football in Thailand to Vietnam, all across East Asia. He has to defend now. And well, he's just gonna have a relax with the rest of the fans. Well, that was put into a dangerous area, but it will be huffed away, thankfully, by Westport. Yes, Cummings. That's a heavy tackle from Javon Morris. But it's back with the team in green. That's well intercepted. And Rangers are away to Real Gill. Oh, he's tricky, isn't he? Real Gill, he's got past one, but he can't get past the flying boot at the back. And he has won a corner though. I tell you what, keep an eye on that battle. It's almost like one of those boxing matches at Madison Square Gardens.
Let's just hope a towel is not thrown in early.
There's Gill finding a white shirt. Russell gets a touch, but it's away by Cordell Samuel. Should fall nicely, but that's well defended. Couldn't get around him that time, Real Gill. Back with Westport, trying to carve open inroads. They do so to Kieran Cummings, and his shot is straight at St. Hilaire. He's warming up now. Well, many critics have pointed out that Kieran Cummings has often operated in deeper areas in this tournament. We'd certainly love to get him close to goal. That's where he's most dangerous. Scored 3 international goals for Trinidad and Tobago, all 3 coming against Mexico. That man, Kieran Cummings.
And James, that I think is one of the keys for the game here tonight. Is can Real Westport find the Kieran Cummings in more advanced positions, more favourable positions for them? You're certainly correct in suggesting that he's played a lot deeper than we are used to seeing him play. But if he can get into those positions, that will certainly impact the offensive side of the game for Westport. Then you would think they would have every chance in the world to cause a few bothers for Terminix La Horquetta Rangers.
Well, Leslie Russell, well, brave in getting that back to his goalkeeper. But all's well that ends well. At least that's what William Shakespeare said. Worked out on that occasion. Well, Javon Morris has been missing in action for the last 2 home games by Terminix Rangers. Has been a solid piece in the defensive block for a team from La Horquetta. Here's Cummings. Well, just plays at his tempo, doesn't he? It's Cordell Samuel. That's too heavy. Covered well by Cruikshank. Well, inconsistency has been the Achilles heel of Real Westport in this competition. Have failed to consistently pick up W's. Well, Real Gill, this man has. He can get in a dangerous position here. But easy for Poon Lewis in the end. Certainly had the breath of all the supporters. Caught up for a moment.
Yeah, for a moment there you thought he may have either pulled the trigger or slip it to Caleb Sturge, who made a dash and run up the right-hand side. Eventually he decided to try and lay the ball into the middle of the box. May have been the latter of the three options, or the worst of the three options. I figured that maybe a shot on goal or a slip to Sturge may have been the better, but that's what you see with Rangers. That's what you get. Flying wingers coming up, overlapping defenders. That's intricate to the way they play.
Well, this could fall nicely for Francois, but again, Cornel Thomas is alert to the danger. This time can't get past Morris. Titan Stackle takes it away, but it's still with, well, it's been one back. Oh, that's a good turn from Tyrone Charles as he races away. He's got options. 4 versus 3 in the area. Can we get a shot here? Well, he'll have to beat his man first, and well, he found that task a bit more than he can chew. It's good defending.
Yeah, I think a combination of good defending and bad decision making, where Real Westport would have averted the danger. But again, another one of Terminix La Horquetta Rangers' strong point, playing on the counter, on transition.
Maurice Dick making his way back into the team, a man from La Lune village in Maruga. Would have been part of the team when they saw his home community spanked by 11 goals to 1. Has been a instrumental piece in the puzzle. Got lots of depth, Rangers. Oh, this should be good here. It's a foot race on now, and the goalkeeper gets there first. Danger averted. He's an alert boy, Poon Lewis.
Yeah, that's good positive goalkeeping. For a second there, James, I thought he may have been a bit late. That's what you want as a centre-half. Your goalkeeper commanding the box and making decisions and not hesitant. So give the young man credit. He made that decision and punctuated it with, of course, clearing the danger.
Aimed in at Charles. Headed away. Westport into Dowden as Morris to contend with. Oh, that's a clever looking ball. Too high for Cordell Samuel, and Sturges gets it away. Here's Dick. Can he get the counter attack flowing? Too long for Kaim Thomas as that one is booted away. It is a throw for Terminix Rangers. He's saying he didn't hear the instructions.
He's correct. They can't score from Rosette. That's for sure. It's the first thing they teach you in defending.
Well, that's a man that we haven't seen much in the lineup. Keon Goodrich. Saw him on the sidelines there. He is part of the Rangers squad. Injury has kept him out of competition so far. Yes, Gill. Can he find Thomas? Oh, Thomas does well, and he does better. That's a good goal from Kaim Thomas. And Keon Goodrich, that's a happy face if you're asking, because he would have seen Kaim Thomas score score a spectacular goal then. One that puts Terminix Rangers 1-0 ahead against Westport.
Well, I may put this on record here, James. This could be a contender for goal of the tournament so far. Young Mr. Thomas here. A long, deep cross by Real Gill to no one in particular. First touch, and then on the volley. That's a good finish. Good direction, good power. Put Lewis no chance. 1-0 Terminix La Horquetta Rangers.
Well, if you've just had dinner, had some dessert to go along with it, what a delicious goal by Kaim Thomas. And it's certainly one that puts Real Westport under pressure. Can they keep themselves alive? Scordell Samuel. T-Poas. Headed down in the area. Oh, that's a good. And Jabari Sindel here. I'm not sure he knew much about it, but he did what he had to do. He's kept it out.
That's a good save, James. He would have certainly seen it very late. But another good, well-timed volley. If one wasn't good enough, two on the trot in the space of 2 minutes. That's double dessert.
Well, he has to be alert here. Can he get a shot away? It's away with a white shirt instead. Again, another foot race is on. Oh, that's good from Real Gill. But he's taken out for all of his troubles. And the referee would call this one back. Can't afford to give him an ounce of space, and well, might just have felt the pressure from the defender. Hailey Farrell, the guilty party.
Yeah, I thought he was lucky to get away there without a yellow card, because that was late. The studs up and very, very late. You can see Real Gid just looking upfield, trying to make the pass. Yeah, look at the trailing leg. That was very naughty. It's, as I said, he's fortunate.
Well, we know who won't be getting presents under the tree for Christmas. Naughty challenge. One man who agrees with us is that man, wreathing in pain at the moment. Seems might have fallen badly on his wrist as well.
I think the thing I like about the Kaim Thomas goal, James, of course, is the fact that he hit it on its way down. Good technique. He kept his head down. How many times we've seen in the tournament, and even outside of this tournament, that ball would have ended up in Rosette. As we look again here, as the ball went into the air, it was in the air for quite a long time. That touch here to evade his defender, whether it was done intentionally or not, it's not really what I'm looking at. What I'm looking at is the skill to keep the ball on target.
Oh, that's good from Caleb Sturge. Can he open up inroads? Maybe too long for the skipper. And, well, everybody in green breathes a sigh of relief. It's never what you want to be happening after 16 minutes here in La Horquetta, to find yourself on the trailing end. Well, that one went into Rose End. Well, there we go. Some of the victorious members of Deportivo Point Fortin, Andre Etienne and company. He's been one of the better defenders in the tournament so far, Etienne. I'm sure national coach Angus Eve might be having some thoughts, perhaps about including him in the Nations League squad.
Well, we can hear Coach Kwamina, as we can see him now on screen, backing out to the official. The second time Real Greta's reserved some extra treatment. Again, another late challenge. Not sure if he's been circled out for this sort of treatment, but he's certainly on the receiving end of it.
Here's Cummings, all by himself. He gets some support from Cordell Samuels. Back to Cummings. He's got Jevon Morris for company. Can they keep this alive? Here's Cruikshank with yard of space. Can he get a good service in? Well, he needed much better than that to hurt the white shirts of La Horquetta. It's a goal kick. Andre Pacheco, Houghton Hector, and of course Paul, Deportivo Point Fortin. All smiles, of course. They've had a good day today.
Well, I'm certainly sure they're going to enjoy that 3 points and that long ride back to Point Fortin.
Yes, Dowden. Puffed away by Francois. And there are many raised eyebrows when Kadeem Corbin was not in the starting lineup for this match. It's been one of their outstanding performers so far in the competition. Jamal Francois rotated in, perhaps to give Corbin a bit of a rest.
Yeah, Coach Anthony Meccano talked a little bit about the reason for rotation. He used the words taking care of the athletes. It's a very composed and skilled finish there by Tyrone Charles. Ball crossed into the box. Initial effort off the bar. Look at this bit of skill here by Tyrone Charles. Eluding his defender and smashing it into the back of the net. It's a 2-0. Well, you have to wonder if this scoreline only just 2-0, but does it mean that Real Westport is out of it? Because they certainly haven't shown much signs of being in the contest.
Thomas, and he couldn't pick up the run on the inside. Here's their move. And they're just swarming down like ants, and this one should be easy for Lewis. So here's Karen Cummings. Gets Cruikshank involved. Easily away by Javon Morris. Well, 23 minutes and the home team already lead by 2-0. And, well, they're taking no prisoners, though. Jamal Francois finds out the hard way. Ouch, that's going to hurt.
What do you think, Brent's Mike?
So Caleb Sturge will be charged with the, well, in fact, he's relinquished that to Gill. He has the responsibility to swing it into a good area. Oh, this is clever. Oh, goodness me. Oh, how close is that? Straight out of the training ground, and Ross Russell Jr. wasn't far away. I tell you what, that might have been a contender as well, Brent Sancho.
Yeah, good cut back play. I will give. This is good technique. A little bit off the side of the left boot. Nevertheless, it certainly had enough pace to defeat the goalkeeper, but it didn't have the direction.
Well, Ross Russell Jr. is among the defenders in the competition, challenging for the most amount of goals for defenders. I think Cameron Purcell of Police and Kemuel Rivers are the ones that might put their hands up and say, hey, we're coming for you. But he certainly likes to get forward, the son of Ross Russell Sr. Here he is, well, cut out that time from reaching him. And that's poked away to safety.
Should be an easy pickup.
Cordell Samuel switching flanks. Cummings can he pull a rabbit out of the hat of tricks that he's got up his sleeves. Cruikshank, well cut out by Gill, interrupts a decent passage of play. Oh, he's taking them for a run, but not past the experience of Cornel Thomas this time. And all his good intention, tell you what, the execution was way below the standard of a man of his quality. But there's a proud daddy, Ross Russell Sr., former TNT international goalkeeper and assistant coach. Must be loving what he's seeing from his son in the competition so far. Well, another challenge that takes out another man in white. You've seen many go to ground. The captain, Jamal Crichton, the latest to feel the wrath of the men from West Trinidad.
Well, it's a situation where Real Westport just cannot concede another one before the halftime whistle. You just think, James, that another goal may just be the nail in the coffin for Real Westport. They have to go in at 2-0. They might fancy their chances coming out in the second half. So it's important they stay focused and concentrated.
Well, can they conjure up a third from this dead ball situation? Kun Lewis has his eyes on the Tiger as it flashes past his near post. He's been a busy man, but it's hard to dispute the ones that have flown past him so far. Did rely heavily on the shoulders of that man, Kieran Cummings, to get them back in this contest. Another counter-attack. Real Gill, well, he cues it up nicely, but he just couldn't bend it into the far corner.
What's the right idea? Cut it inside of his man. I think when he was about to execute, he leaned back. I think once you go down that route, it's always going to go over leaning back. But he showed good imagination. He's crafty, and it's one of those kids that you certainly have to keep your eye on. Works very hard on both sides of the ball, which is good to see from a young player. And he has a good appetite in getting forward.
Here's Caleb Sturge. His pass is cut out. Oh, that's clever. Foot race on now. And well, Javon Morris doesn't look like the Usain Bolt type on the pitch, but he does get the job done.
Looks like Deion Sanders. Or Barry Sanders, I should say.
I tell you, it was a Morris battle. Javon Morris versus Akil Morris. Might know each other very well. There's a magic feed from Cummings. Couldn't take advantage. As we've arrived at the half-hour mark in this match, Terminix La Horquetta Rangers lead Real Westport by 2-0. Ross Dowden's pass is cut out. It's a throw. Looking for Cummings, can't get past Ross Russell. Cummings can find some space here. And this is dangerous, and again Javon Morris gets in the way. And again, it's a corner.
Well, you thought when Cummings cut that one back for a charge in Gibson, it might have halved the deficit. It's good defending there by Morris. A bit winded by it. But it's good play again by, of course, that man in the picture, Kieran Cummings. And you have to suspect, James, that if Real Westport is to get back into this game, it's going to have to be on the shoulders of that man, Kieran Cummings. It's looked lively so far.
Certainly has. If anybody can get them back in the contest, he can. Seen him score some amazing goals in his career. The one against Mexico in the 3-all draw in the Gold Cup, one of my favorites. Also scored a beautiful volley in a 3-1 win over Defence Force in the First Citizens Cup. Well, tell you what, they've gone to their bench and they're calling for some reinforcements. As Sean De Silva, former TNT Youth International, looks set to come in. And it's going to be Hailey Farrell and Ross Dowden that makes way. It's an interesting move. Well, this one can't get in the first post. We'll try again. Oh, that's good. Well, he's lost his footing. Tried to be too clever. It's away by Sturge. Oh, you don't see those passes every day, but he's full of confidence, I'm sure. Didn't handle it too badly, St-Hilaire. Oh, they will have a set piece. The Horquetta Rangers. Here's Gill. Sturge gets ahead of him. Oh, Caleb Sturge. He's done well in a dangerous area now. And, well, not making any connection as Cordell Samuel races away on the opposite end. So already scored 1 goal in the competition. Can he add to that? They're knocking. Oh, and that Sean De Silva's touch was good, but it's eventually cleared away.
Certainly after those changes, it looks like Real Westport is showing signs of life.
He's done well to keep it as Cruikshank protects his interest. De Silva was part of 2 Youth World Cups with Trinidad and Tobago at under 17 and under 20 level. Well, he's trying to find Samuel, but the goalkeeper was quicker. Here's Jamal Crichton. Gets Tyrone Charles away. Thomas. Oh, that's a good looking ball. Headed away. Cruikshank intervening at the very last second, but it's Sturge to reignite the fire. Well, it's just beautiful to see how quickly they move the ball in transition. Terminix La Horquetta Rangers. Well, is there more? Can be more. That's a good save from Poon Lewis.
Top save, James.
Oh my word. That's like abracadabra, alapida, butter jelly sandwiches. That's magic. But Gill can cause some magic of his own. Oh, Paul was all alone there, but couldn't find the accuracy. Tyrone Charles. They're lucky, Westport.
Well, somebody a lock is called Poon Lewis. That is just an outstanding save by the young man. I'm not sure how much of it he saw, but you have to give him credit. He stuck that hand out there to stop it. Could, of course, as we take a look at the young man, he's probably thinking to himself, how did he do it?
Oh, he's got the beauty of replays, so look at that over and over. Be on Instagram by the morning.
Social media phenomenon. You have to wonder, James, as we take a second look at it. Ball comes across, heads it back across. Look at Murray's stick. Power, pace, but the hands of Poon Lewis. That is a quality save. Maybe the save that has kept the Real Westport in this football game.
Well, on the other end, that man has hardly had an opportunity to make saves of his own. But Murray's Dick, he's wondering how did he not get on the score sheet? Jabari St-Hilaire has taken over from Jabari Bryce in goal for Rangers. As Maurice Dick was adjudged to be the wrong party in that collision. Could fall nicely, only as far as Cruikshank. Not a very good show from Sturge. And it's fall into the wrong feet. Cummings. And, Samuel gives the referee a glaring eye. Referee Nyron signaling that he was offside. Here's a goal scorer, Tyrone Charles versus Cornel Thomas. That's clever. Cut out. He'll have another opportunity. And Lewis does what he's done well all evening. Can the men from the West do their best? Not in that effort. Tell you what, they're from the West, but their gunslinging has been subpar.
Well, they've not really been allowed to get into any sort of rhythm, and a lot of credit has to be given to Terminix La Horquetta Rangers. They've, even on the defensive side of things, they've harried, they've hustled, and not made it easy for them to string together passes and get into any kind of rhythm. So, as much as Real Westford have tried to get into this football match, I think Terminix La Horquetta Rangers have other ideas, and a lot of it is because of the way they've approached it, particularly in the middle of the park. They've made it a very uncomfortable area for Real Westford.
Some crosswise gives possession back to Westford. Silva, one of the 2 first-half substitutes for the team in green.
And that's a prime example of it there, James. As soon as De Silva picks the ball up, there's 3-4 white shirts in his face. He has to make either a pass on the move or a hustled and untimed pass. So that's where they've been successful.
Here's Jamal Francois trying to pick out Kaim Thomas. White shirts raised forward. Only as far as Cruikshank. They'll have done well to get it away. It's Cummings assisting the build-up. Tyrone Charles. Oh, that's good. Is it good enough? It is good enough. And Terminix Rangers have made it 3. And the quality just keeps getting better. Jamal Francois getting his first of the night.
Yeah, again, another goal in transition from Terminix La Horquetta Rangers. And Poon Lewis caught in no man's land there. Ball picked off. Tyrone Charles with a clever ball over the top. Poon Lewis in 2 minds. And both minds were the wrong decision. Flicked over there by Jamal Francois. Clever little finish. 3-0. And you might have to think for Real Westford, it is all she wrote.
Well, he seems to think his side has done a good job so far, Dave Quamina. And can't fault him for thinking that. They lead by 3-0. And Sean De Silva changed that prospect. Oh, that's good.
That's good. That's top finish.
Karen Cummings. Well, we did say if any magic was supposed to come from the feet of any player, it had to be that man. And might just have handed them a lifeline going into halftime. It's 3-1.
You have to wonder what the vision of St. Hilaire was. It's a good play there by Sean De Silva. Eventually gets himself outside. That's a top strike. Not a lot of power in it. still felt there was enough time for St. Hilaire to get across. But you have to wonder, James, did he see it late?
It's a good question. Might have been unsighted. It's another Russ Russell Jr. forage into the opposition territories. Charged down.
I wonder if there's a bonus for how many times he overlap in a game.
Yeah, he's going to win that. Well, chances opening up. Maurice Dick tries his luck and, needed a compass to steer that into the far corner. Did come close though, the man from Moruga. Well, no Gary Griffith III in the lineup for Westport this evening. Word is he is injured in training, so he misses out in this match.
When I'm looking at the play of Kieran Cummins, who's in our screen here, and you have to wonder if he's trying to play every position in the park. He's certainly been very, very active on the offensive side. He's put in quite a shift so far. We do know he has the skill set to bring them back into this one, but you certainly need 10 other players if he is to do that.
Well, tell you what, well, some players are in first, second and third gear. He's been in cruise control, Kieran Cummins. Just cruises around the park. They need him in high gear though, just to bring them back in this contest. Oh, well, he's put his man to bed there, Jamal Francois. Just 1 minute of added on time. And Francois will use that minute to perhaps craft out one last chance from a free kick. Gill. Thomas might have won another corner. He has.
That's about the third ball that was played into the box from a separate that's gone very, very deep. You have to wonder if it's something from the training ground. They do have some height in the box, and the likes of course, Captain Jamal Crichton and Ross Russell Jr., just to name a few.
Well, a free header, and Poonell have to challenge in a sea of green for this one. Can't hold on, and that one is cleared off the line by Cornel Thomas. And the referee's whistle, like a boxing referee, steps in and signals that it is halftime. A halftime of reflection for the team from West Trinidad as they find themselves trailing by 3-1 to Terminix La Horquetta Rangers. Your thoughts on the first half?
Well, it's a game where the home team, Terminix La Horquetta Rangers, have been in full control, and they've shown their dominance throughout the 45 minutes plus. They certainly created enough chances to be a lot more further ahead. Of course, between the lock and Poon Lewis, it stayed at 3-1.
All right, we take a break. 3-1 Terminix Rangers of a real Westport. When we come back, first half highlights. Oh, that's not Charlie's Angels. That's the Terminix Angels having a whale of a time, giving you the halftime entertainment as they see their side leading by 3-1. But let's see what they're celebrating as we look back at the first half highlights. And it's highlights dominated by Rangers, Real Gill, Takayim Thomas, Magic, Joga Bonito you call that, as he put them 1-0 up early in the match. Nothing that man Poon Lewis could do to keep that one out. And then Caleb Sturge. Well, this is a replay because it's so good we do it twice. Beautiful stuff there from Kayim Thomas, taking advantage of his start. So that put them 1-0 up. Well, Westport did have some moments of their own, and when they did that, man, Jabari St-Hilaire showed up with the fist of steel, and Dick off the crossbar, and Tyrone Charles, well, did the Macarena with the defenders, and as easy as you'd like, getting that one into the net. Everybody's dancing, and well, he's celebrating 2-0 Terminix Rangers. And then Gill involved again, this time Russ Russell Jr. Well, he might have shaved some paint off of the post in that effort. And again, Kayim Thomas. And how did he save that one from Maurice Dick, Poon Lewis? Big left palm doing the job. Tyrone Charles would get in on the act, a chip over the top. And Jamal Francois would get his second of the match. Nothing Poon Lewis could do, as that one sailed over his head. He made it 3-0 to Terminix Rangers. Another look. Yep, it's just as beautiful as you saw it the first time. Jamal Francois doing the business. Thought the game might have been done and dusted, but it's never over. Well, he certainly enjoyed that moment, didn't he? Then Sean De Silva on a platter. Well, that's just making light of it, because that's how easy Karen Cummins made it look as he pulled them back with a 3-1 halftime scoreline. Let's take a look at some of the statistics. Brent Sancho, 13 shots to 8 for Westport.
Yeah, of course, it speaks to the dominance that we saw in the first half. 6 shots by the team. Terminix La Horquetta Rangers to 3 to Westport United. 5 fouls for Westport United, 1 for Rangers. 0 in the cards department, both yellow and red. 1 offsides in the Westport United camp. 6 corners for Rangers, 1 for Westport United. 2 saves for Rangers and 3 for Westport United. A dominant display by the home team so far, certainly showing their pedigree and the reason why they are on top so far in the tournament.
All right, we've seen some good goals in the first half. Let's look back at some of the match week 5 highlights. AC Port of Spain taking on Cunupia at the La Horquetta Recreation Ground. And what a cracker this match was. Port of Spain coming close early, Che Benny with the shot off target. Then later on, chances opening up. And knock, who's there? Kevon Woodley, as he opened the scoring for Cunupia in the 19th minute. The number 19 scoring in the 19th. Then Che Benny, some acrobatics to clear the danger. And later on, well, the defender just couldn't hit the target. But Keon Daniel sent Woodley on a trip that he would relish as he gets his second of the match. 2-0 to Cunupia. Che Benny can work magic, and he certainly worked magic to part the Black Sea to get one in. 2-1. AC Port of Spain back in the contest. And the goalkeepers had a tough task ensuring that it remained like that until this moment of brilliance from Kevon Woodley. Good awareness, capitalizing on the deflected shot, and just like that, finding the back of the net. And that was the hat-trick for him. Kian Daniel would then assist his second of the evening, this time finding Josiah Daniel, and he made it 4-1, and that was all she wrote as Cunupia FC took the 4-1 win. While Terminix Rangers took on Deportivo Point Fortin. Jordan Riley certainly gave the defenders something to think about early. Andrew Etienne also getting in the mix. And then that, Riley to Henry, some acrobatics, and couldn't hit the target. Marvin Phillip had to be a rock of Gibraltar. On the other end, good goalkeeping as the goalkeepers were kept busy. But then the moment for Rangers, Kadeem Corbin with the swivel, Marvin Phillip grazing his navel on the ground as he tried to get that unsuccessfully. Corbin getting the goal that would prove very decisive in this match, as the referee's whistle confirmed the 1-0 win for Terminix. They stay on top of the table. Central Soccer World also took on Real Westford at the Arima Velodrome, and this one, it's a rough and rugged affair. Some good chances, good goalkeeping as well, but Westford would open the scoring. Russ Dowden getting the target from close range. Everybody enjoyed that one. And it's rough play all around, and some near misses. Well, they certainly seem to have fun. Rodfin Harris had to receive some warnings as well in the match. And, well, the party tricks came out as well. Good defending, Cornel Thomas. And then on the opposite end, how about that? Was that a goal? Well, the flag dismisses it. Disappointment. And that's how the cookie would crumble. And then Defence Force looking to mount a challenge to the title against Central FC. Central forcing Defence Force into early saves, and Defence Force firing warning shots on the opposite end. But then Riyad Moore would open the scoring inside the second minute of the match, as he made it 1-0 to Defence Force. And later on, he would play provider, this time finding Jamil Boatswain, and he made it 2-0 to Defence Force. Was there to be more action? It certainly was, and Riyad Moore, yep, he climbed the step ladder to get ahead on that one, and he made it 2 for him, 3 to Defence Force. Goalkeeper with the butterfingers giving a chance that they could not capitalize on. And then the back heel flick, finding more, and this time the hat-trick for the national striker, as Defence Force finished 4-0 winners over Central FC. Moruga FC still winless in this competition, came up against Police. Police third in the standings. And, well, Moruga made their presence felt until this moment of magic. Kadeem Hutchinson giving this man a shimmy and finding the open spot in the near post. He made it 1-0, Cristiano Ronaldo celebration. And then some poor defending from Moruga certainly opened up the door that Police would enjoy. And a deflected shot finding a way past the keeper, Jabari Mitchell taking credit in the 38th minute. They certainly enjoyed that one. And later on, Moruga had an opportunity. King, well, not a kingly shot from him as he missed the target from close range. And they might live to regret that. Well, they had to tussle for that one, because Police would finally get the third item. Cameron Purcell, the defender, certainly loves scoring as they finished 3-0. So we certainly enjoyed looking back at those highlights from match week 5, and just a reminder that this is a second of a doubleheader that would have played here earlier, and earlier on we saw Deportivo Point Fortin come away with a 3-0 victory over Central Soccer World, and you enjoyed that performance, Brent Sancho, didn't you?
Yeah, it was a pivotal game for both teams. We talked about the position on the table for both. Central Soccer World would have had a disappointing couple of weeks. A team certainly...
Repeat what's coming next, shall we?
Of course, with the capabilities of doing well within their of course, their roster. But we keep talking about that Deportivo team. We saw them in action last weekend against Rangers, a very close encounter. Some household names within the squad certainly starting to gel as they play week in, week out. And of course, they had a good performance and a good result.
Yeah, and you would have spoken with the player of the match, Nathaniel Garcia. Let's hear from him. So Nathaniel Garcia, the player of the match, and certainly a good performance from him. We take a break, and when we come back in second half action, Terminix Rangers lead our 3-1 against Real Westford. We'll be right back. Your headphones shorted. While goals flowed like water in the first half, we saw 4 of them as Terminix La Horquetta Rangers, the home team, lead by 3-1 against Real Westford. They've certainly had their fill, but I tell you what, they want more as the teams make their way back onto the field for second half action. Referee Nyron with his cast of assistants. They've done a solid job all evening, and the fans would hope for more solid action on the field. Terminix Rangers, well, they've taken off Caleb Sturge and seem set to make a couple more changes. Real Westford, they made 2 first half changes with Sean De Silva coming in, and they're set to make a few as well. I'll tell you as they come along. The professor, Ron Lafferay, one wonders what his halftime talk would have been about. Very experienced coach here in Trinidad and Tobago, former national player as well. And some might feel that might be a miracle. I'll tell you what, Isaiah Hudson and Kadeem Corbin will make their way onto the field for the second half. So Caleb Sturge is one of the players that have come off. I'll tell you who the other is as soon as that information comes to hand. And for Real Westford, the player coming in for them is Akil Thomas. So he makes his way on the field. How much is expected from that man, the number 10, Kieran Cummings? He got the goal that got them back in the contest in the first half, but it's still a long, long journey for them. What do you expect moving forward into the second half, Brent Sancho?
When you're looking at the changes that Terminix La Horquetta Rangers would have just made, certainly not a like for like, with the likes of Isaiah and Corbin coming in for a defender. They've gone to a 3-back system. And they look like they're pushing more numbers forward. And of course, for Real Westford, it really comes down to, can they keep their composure, their shape, their discipline, and of course sneak themselves back into this one.
Well, lots of work to be done in the second half for the team in green. And they've got Kadeem Corbin to contend with. Oh, that's a good-looking ball in the area.
Well, I tell you what, I thought there was a handball there.
Oh, couldn't find the net, and he does find the net.
I thought there was a handball there.
Well, the referee points to the halfway spot, which signals that it is legal and correct. And Tyrone Charles gets his second of the evening, and Terminix Rangers take a 4-1 advantage.
Well, I'm looking at the reaction of the Real Westport players, and they're all screaming at the official. It looks like it was a handball. I don't think the official was in the position to see it. It was before the actual shot. Of course, a terrific finish there by Tyrone Charles, but right before that, you might have, of course, seen the handball.
Well, even more cameraman enjoying the action. It's Isaiah Lee replacing Real Gill. So Real Gill and Caleb Sturge are the players off for Terminix Rangers. Well, certainly not what the professor would have ordered.
Well, you have to wonder, the halftime talk is now out the window, James. Probably would have given them a spew of tactical advices going into it. And I'm quite sure before they left the locker room, don't concede an early goal.
Well, that's evaporated faster than you and a hot galvanized. Well, here they come. Sean De Silva. Well, he's had his pocket picked. Well, they do in a corner. Well, he is a dead ball specialist, Sean De Silva. His task would be to find a green shirt in the midst of all those white jerseys you're seeing. Well, the goalkeeper gets there first into there. Another chance, maybe. Hoofed away, this time by Leslie Russell. Oh, climbed all over Cordell Samuel there to win that one, Leslie Russell. It's a foot race on the opposite end.
It's really a tough ask now for Real Westport to even get themselves back into this one. Of course, it starts with a goal. The question is, can they?
Oh, they've got lots of time. Can they find the necessary resources is the better question. Here's Crichton. Well, he's looking good here, Thomas. And, well, too good maybe. As the envy of the men in green sends him to the floor. Has won a free kick. Well, he looks like a defeated man, Cornel Thomas.
It's been tough going for him, James, at the back. It's really been a difficult ask for the rear guard at Real Westport. They've been pulled and twisted and pushed in all different positions that they probably don't want to be in as defenders. A lot of chasing and the trickery of the white players of Terminix La Horquetta Rangers, and of course the guile of the man up top in Tyrone Charles. Not for a pleasant afternoon for defenders, James.
Well, goalkeepers as well. Not in this effort though from Kyle Thomas. Well, he's had a good night. 2-goal return for him. one. Oh, that's a good hook. I was about to scream goal, but the crossbar interrupted that one. But I tell you, can they get some more from Kieran Cummings? He's certainly the man that is keeping them alive in this contest. Should be easy this time for St. Hilaire. He's quite grateful to get his hands on this one. But look out, here's Thomas. He's going past Creed. He's going past another in a dangerous area, and it's a corner.
The game becoming a bit stretched now. Good for us, the neutral. Tell you what, that Cummins strike was an absolute screamer. I think we both jumped up there, James, and thought it was in the back of the net. It's a spill.
Well, Poon Lewis, a bit untidy from him and the defense, but they finally clear the danger.
Let's have another look at it here. That was an absolute scorcher. St. Hilaire could thank his lucky stars and the crossbar. Laces, technique, power, precision, and a bit of luck, my friend.
Or like NASA to Pluto, never getting near that. Here's another corner. Dangerous area, finds a white shirt and also gets into the gloves of Poon Lewis. Cordell Samuel. Well, they certainly got lots of quality coming from Kieran Cummings. Just feel that he needs some assistance. Batman needs a Robin.
Well, the thing about this Batman, he's starting to play deeper and deeper, and that's not a good sign if you are a real Westport fan. You want to see him a lot closer to the goal so he can unleash those types of scorchers, as we see manager Gordon Pay and the professor discussing things.
Into the area, away by Thomas. It's Cummings.
Oh, that's delightful.
And well, a good move comes to North as it's well defended. Only as far as Cummings though. Oh, just floats like a butterfly across the field, Kieran Cummings. Well, can they get some penetration here? Sean De Silva can't hit it. No room. Cookshank. Back to De Silva. Oh, he's run past it. But it's a crowd, and Cornel Thomas will have to chase on the opposite end. It's a bad giveaway. Oh, that's a save from Poon Lewis. He's been exceptional in this match. And that's another moment, I tell you. In basketball, they call it posterizing. Well, he needs a goalkeeper poster, because he stopped that from being 5-1.
Well, who needs your hands when you got your chin? But I tell you what, he was positioned well enough to make the save, so credit the young man. And that man is looking up above and asking, how did he miss that? How did he not make it? His hat-trick. He was on it quite quickly, James. It's a poor mistake there by Cornel. You felt by the minute it left his boot that it was going to be short. Can't afford to give away another one.
Well, it's another raid. Lining it up for Ross Russell Jr. Well, he's an ambitious boy. Tried from a really long way out. Sean De Silva. Can he help his team conjure something on the opposite end? And, well, they've won a foul. Can he be the man to step up to help this man? Cummings. Into a good area. Gets a shot, and it's well defended by the man on the line, Ross Russell Jr. Well, who says he doesn't defend? It's proving them wrong today.
He's made a guest appearance in the back.
Well, just out of the range of Sean De Silva, that one. And a chance on the opposite end, and well, he's Superman, I tell you. He's been flying all evening, that wee little man, Poon Lewis. Oh, the game is a bit stretched at the moment.
That's a foul.
And, well...
That's good positive running there, James.
His expedition comes to a brutal halt.
Well, they might be 4-1 down, but they've certainly come to life, this Real Westford team. From an offensive perspective, you'd have to suggest as we see them make some more changes.
Well, Nicholas Walker, a man full of experience. He will come in to replace Cruikshank. They're also lining up Jamil Antoine. So Walker and Antoine will make their way in.
Well, I'm surprised to see Gibson leave the field, James. I thought he was really now starting to get into things.
Gibson and Cruikshank, the players sacrificed. Well, another change as well, and I was surprised to see him left out of the starting lineup, Daniel David. He replaces Maurice Dick. So a change for Rangers as well. Sean De Silva. If you have seen him in the past, you know this is well within his range. And it's anticlimactic, to say the least. While taking no chances there, Javon Morris. Cummings. And Cordell Samuel is in an offside position. Won't count. Oh. Just one goal for Cordell Samuel in the competition. Hasn't been receiving the kind of service that he'd like in the areas that he likes. Isaiah Lee. So we're approaching the hour mark, and Rangers lead by 4-1. They brought in Walker, 32 years old, the former FC Dallas, made the MLS draft in 2014. Did play in the CONCACAF Champions League as well.
Oh,
this is offside. The flag was up. Wasn't going to count.
Thought we were witnessing a couple of minutes in the comedy hour show. That ball by Javon Morris, and St. Hilaire is continuing the probe despite the fact that they have the ball. But he was left rooted there.
Apologies coming from the big man. Here's Cummings. De Silva. Samuel. Nice bit of link up here. Can they get something from it? It's Cornel Thomas. De Silva comes in, but he can't get his head on it. And De Silva gets another bite at the cherry. Samuel looking for space to turn. Cornel Thomas. But it did bend and twirl and swirl, but it didn't dip in time. But a positive passage of play from Real Westport.
I think when you talk about Karen Cummins being Batman, I think Sean De Silva is looking to take on the Robin role. He's certainly injected some life into this Real Fort team.
Well, this is a good-looking ball. Easily cleared. Not very far though. Kadeem Corbin can hit it. And he does. It's a throw. Scored the lone goal in the last match against Deportivo. Got them a 1-0 win. Kept their unbeaten run going. But it's showtime at the Apollo, I tell you. Happy feet in the corner. Can't get past his man. That's good defending. And here's Jevon Morris to chase. Battle with Cordell Samuel. And it's a mismatch.
Yeah, he's done really well there, James. Jevon Morris. Because it was always a difficult one. When he took the touch, we thought Samuel may have nicked in there and get possession, but that's good defending there by the big man. Of course, enjoying some extra seconds on the turf.
Well, there, what you call the life of the party.
There he is holding off Samuel. Didn't really have a choice but to foul the big man.
Well, on the other end, Isaiah Lee has his shot deflected around the post. So it's a corner on the opposite end. Well, they've got some experience now in the defensive department with the addition of Walker. Can he help keep out some of these aerial attacks? Oh, there we go. Gets his head on that one. His captain gets it away. Far and away. De Silva. Not the best touch. And Walker will challenge on the opposite end, and again the big man gets in the way. I'm a bit surprised that we haven't seen more from Walker. Played in the MLS with Dallas, played in the USL with Michigan Bucks. Was a start at the university level as he gets another head away. Played with Farley Dickinson. And in the space of a minute since he's come on, we've seen a 3-headed clearance from him. Well, here's Sean De Silva. He's thinking about going from distance. Shares the wealth. Can they keep it alive? De Silva. And well blocked from Leslie Russell. Oh, that's clever from Lee. It's a foot race with Cornel Thomas. And it's 1v1. He's won that battle. And, well, quality just left him.
Just looked at that trailing foot there by Cornel Thomas. I thought Isaiah could have probably crumbled. And I'm sure that the official may have had no other choice but to point to the spot.
Well, here's the leading goal scorer for Terminix Rangers, Isaiah Lee. Came in as a substitute today. He's always hungry for goals. Here's Cummings. Wow, high boot from the skipper. Referee allows play to continue. Blazing whistle. Might have been for offside on the opposite end though. Looking for Samuel. Headed away by Russell. It's a good touch from Crichton. And a lunging challenge from Walker. And gives his team possession. Cummings, and that's a good save from St. Hilaire. And the follow-up is taken away from Samuel. They're huffing and puffing. But on the other end, Kadeem Corbin trying to blow past the defender. Only as far as, well, that's deflected. End-to-end stop you're witnessing here at the La Horquetta Recreation Ground. Here's Cummings. He's done well to keep it. And he makes 3 defenders look like nothing. But he certainly has been one of the most impactful players we've seen in the tournament. Karen Cummings.
Well, you'd have to say that it's been a tournament where the senior citizens have done well. We've seen Karen Showtime Woodley, 30 plus. And of course, Kevin Showtime Woodley, sorry. And of course, Karen Cummins as well. Another 30-pluser.
Houston Hector could be added to that list as well, since he's coming to the tournament.
That's correct.
Scored a beautiful free kick earlier on.
Aging like fine wine, my friend.
Well, here's another veteran, Sean De Silva. Too long for Walker. And it's a foot race here. Well won. And, well, Poon Lewis had to be sharp, and sharp he was. Here's De Silva. Well, there's certainly a better look about Westport and a better look about that shot. Sean De Silva just missing the target. 32 years now, Sean De Silva. Played with Minnesota FC in the USL. Also had a stint with Hawker in Iceland. Played in 2 Youth World Cups, so if anybody has experience, he does.
And a bit of quality, and I think that's what he's brought since he's got onto the field. And tenacity as well. You have to add that, because he's been breaking lines, getting ahead of his forwards and stretching the play. Exactly what you want from a real Westport perspective. While he's left Karen Cummins in a quarterback position, where he's been threading passes.
Oh, here he is again. One Cordell Samuel, just miscommunication, and well, I think they did get a shot away, but not quite sure the right decision was made initially. And there will be a change, as Javon Morris is set to be replaced by a former national youth defender, Jesus Perez. Well, Perez will have to wait, because there's a man down at the moment, and Morris. So Morris will receive treatment, as he is set to be replaced. I guess it's fair to say he's going to make a painful exit. Well, he deserves having a drink, doesn't he, Cummings?
If there ever was a candidate on the losing side for MVP, it would have to be Cummins. He's really put a shift in here tonight. It's been a pleasure to watch as we look at some of the challenges, bumps and bruises throughout this game. Has been an entertaining encounter. It looks quite lopsided, but give Real Westport credit, particularly in the second half.
Well, it is a Westport corner. Cummings to swing it in. Looking for Walker. And might have gotten the final touch and a bit of illegal action in there as well. Jamal Crichton, the skipper, feeling the brunt of that. They pushed him a lot inside the attacking area, Walker. He can score goals. Did score against Club America in the CONCACAF Champions League, but not on this occasion. And again, Walker gets his head on the end of that one. Where has he been? Here's Corbin. Lee. At the back door. Kept alive.
Oh, I tell you.
And Walker, while he sends it miles high.
It's looking at some pulling and tugging of a shirt there in the box.
Well, Jesus Perez had to be quick there to get out of that. Bit of a challenge. Well, this is some distance. Not going to trouble Poon Lewis though. Made him look. So it's another corner for Westford. They're certainly adding them to their tally at the moment. Sean De Silva. Walker. Not enough power on the end of that one. Well, they're clearly looking for him. Oh, Sean De Silva and the double goal scorer, Jamal Francois, just in a bit of collision. As far as Corbin, oh, that's good. De Silva is away now, pushing forward. Can he find options? He chooses the one to shoot. Easy in the end for the goalkeeper. Lee. Oh, he's gone well! Oh, Poon Lewis! Fingertip saves onto the post. And, well, he's not on the winning side, but he's my man of the match. Here's De Silva. His goalkeeper kept him alive. Can he repay at the opposite end? Well, he's gone past his man quite easily. Couldn't find Samuel that time. It's Corbin. Piling numbers forward, Rangers. And well cut out by Cummings. But I think it's fair to say that Rangers have been quite tame this second half as Leslie Russell tries to prove me wrong. And this time, Poon Lewis. Oh my goodness, he's a fan favorite. They're going to build a statue of him here, I'm sure. Here's Sean De Silva. They're in search of another goal. Thomas. Oh, that's a bad ball, but they win it back. it's fair to say, apart from the odd breaks on the opposite end, that Westport has been pretty decent in this second half. Just can't find that golden touch at the opposite end though.
Well, they've shown a little bit more desire to get forward. Certainly throwing numbers forward, and that man there in the screen has had a big part to play in that offensive push that we've seen in the second half.
Silva keeps it alive. Here comes Cummings. Scored the lone goal for Westport in this match. Or that's Fong Samuel.
Oh,
good defending by Crichton. Yes, Samuel. His pass is cut out. Well, here comes Corny. Oh my goodness! Corny Thomas flew in there and couldn't even come in. Somehow managed to escape. Patient in their build-up. Can they get a golden touch, maybe? Down a bit too early there, Samuel. Here's Isaiah Lee. Tyrone Charles. Looking for support. Finds it in Charles. Daniel David. In the good area here.
Oh, that's an own goal.
Oh, it's unfortunate. Poon Lewis has been so good. And Cornel Thomas has protected him for much of the match, but this time he selfless chucks and puts it past his own keeper. And just like that, they trail by 5 goals to 1. Is that the straw that breaks the camel's back? And in fact, it's not Cornel Thomas, but Brandon Creed that might have gotten the final touch on that one.
And you have to wonder why he didn't use his left foot, of course, to clear that one. That man, Osei Charles. He went across his body and almost in a on-football type shape put the ball into the back of the net. Just got to guide it away with your left foot. Instead, he went for his right foot and deflected it into his own net.
But it just feels cruel now, doesn't it? Police, just as they were building some momentum, perhaps a foreshadowing of life sometimes. But they keep the fight alive though. That's offside. And with 11 minutes to go, you just feel that it's done and dusted for the men from West Trinidad.
Despite all the endeavour shown by Real Westport in the second half, James, it just lacked the quality at the end of it. We've seen some good build-up play, particularly from De Silva and of course Cummins, but that quality to trouble a team like Terminix La Horquetta Rangers really lacked.
Well, here's Cordell Samuel. Can he add some? It's a penalty. We'll have an opportunity. And talking about consolations, he just might have gotten one courtesy of that man, Cordell Samuel.
Well, he's been tireless in his efforts this afternoon, Samuel, making those runs. And no forward likes to run. The ball rolls across him. He's done the right thing. And there you see a little clip there by Russ Russell Jr. I think he certainly would have mistimed that one. Spot on penalty. Where's your money going on here, James?
Well, I think it's going to be Kieran Cummings. And I don't think anybody would bet against him.
He certainly deserves a goal. There's no doubt about that. It's been a live wire throughout the afternoon.
So Kieran Cummings, the TNT International, with a chance to give his side some sort of consolation, and he does. Wow, he makes everything look like a Sunday evening stroll on Maracas Beach, and he gets his second of the match.
Very well taken penalty. The deception in the run-up, and of course the confidence to stroke the ball away from St. Hilaire, who's been sent the wrong direction. Nothing less than the young man deserved. He has been a joy to watch this afternoon.
So Kieran Cummings gets his second, 5-2. Rangers still leading Westford. Well, maybe more could open up. Not this time. Here's the man who won the penalty, Cornel Samuel. And easy in the end for St. Hilaire. He's had it easy there at the office. Well, here's our Sportsmax app moment. So much to choose from. But it's this moment here. Tyrone Charles into Jamal Francois. Easy dink. And made that look easy. But he certainly has done enough to get our Sportsmax app moment. Jamal Francois. Or can Russ Russell Jr. conjure up more goals for his team La Horquetta? Look tricky, but more difficult attempts have failed to beat that man, Poon Lewis. Well, he tried. Isaiah Lee looking to add to his already healthy goal tally in this competition. Here's Corbin. Tried to get Lee through. Not that time. Samuel keeps it alive. His pass though is cut out by Russ Jr. And as he kept it in, assistant seems to think that he does. Real Westport. They would like to get another goal. Can Cordell Samuel conjure up something? He gets a corner. Kieran Cummings to take this corner. St. Hilaire was the least bit perturbed by that one. Well, I think it's been a match that has really had some stars and some, well, the opposite of stars. But I think Jamal Francois certainly stands out as perhaps the top performer of the game for the winning team.
Yeah, there are a few very credible performances by Terminix La Horquetta Rangers, but you have to feel, James, they never really left third gear. They've played well within their comfort zone, and they've looked dominant throughout the 90 minutes. Of course, there were one or two uncomfortable periods in the second half for them, but I think all in all, they would feel that they've done more than enough to get over the line, and I think this game probably would have been won in the first half.
Yeah, and it's because of him and his 2 goals. Francois, Tyrone Charles also getting the other 2 for Terminix Rangers, and an own goal. But you do feel a bit of sympathy for that man in your picture, Poon Lewis. Had he been in the winning team, maybe sure shout for man of the match. Lots of work to be done by Gordon Pay and his team at Westport. Here's Isaiah Lee. Tyrone Charles looking for a hat-trick. Well, they're not going to be that man with shots like that. Is there to be more fight in the belly of Westport? Corner. Well, we are just entered the final minute of the game. Rangers leading by 5 goals to 2. This one is headed away. But it's well won by and quickly lost. Here's Ross Jr. Corbin cleared away. Will find its way through to De Silva. It's not the fastest player. He still holds on to it. And well defended by Leslie Russell. Cummings, as he won a corner. Oh, he'll settle for a throw.
It's very difficult, James, to see which team is going to stop this Terminix La Horquetta Rangers and the run that they are currently on. As you mentioned, they would have dropped their first points, 2 points that is, to be exactly, against Defence Force at the start of the tournament. As we go into match day 6 today, they've gone on a 5-game winning streak. And you have to wonder if there's any team in the competition that's going to be able to stop them.
Well, Westport certainly hasn't answered that question. They'll have to defend here. Well, he had all right, try his luck. Never guaranteed the outcome he was hoping for. And, well, the coach is asking his skipper hard questions. What a performance from that man. It's unfortunate he's on the losing end, as we have entered the time added on, a minute and a half into the allotted 3 minutes. Still feel as if this game still has something. Walker gets it away as far as Cornel Thomas. Here's Cummings. And well, it's the least best thing that he's done all evening. And can get away with it when you've had a game like he's had.
Well, he's just showing he's only human. He's not the best of decisions to shoot from that far out. He also had options wide and further ahead of him. Maybe a shot out of frustration. Thinking the type of performance that he's put in, he would have felt he deserved more out of it.
Tyrone Charles. Just about 30 seconds remaining, looking for his hat trick. Poon Lewis says no. And yeah, he gets a warm reception, even from the home crowd. Wasn't the tidiest of his saves, but he certainly was effective. But he's still got a few seconds to hold on. Russ Russell Jr., Kadeem Corbin, Russ, Charles. They're all queuing up now. Corbin, but it had the power, but not the placement. And he's got the signal that says that 90 minutes are up. It's a 90-minute of success for the team in white, Terminix La Horquetta Rangers, as they will celebrate a 5-2 win. Smiles for the winning coach. Words of comfort for the losing one, Ron Laffery. Walker came in and made an impact. That man had all the impact, getting the 2 goals for the losing team. But in the end, the Terminix La Horquetta Rangers too strong to be beaten, as their unbeaten run continues, as they win 5-2. We get ready for the highlights of the match, and then we hear from the players of the match and the coaches. So this highlights is going to be dominated by the team in white. Real Gill finding Kaim Thomas, and the goal of the match from Kaim Thomas, and he opened the scoring. I love peanut butter jelly sandwiches. That's how you make a defender disappear. That made it 1-0 to Terminix Rangers. Then later on, a chance, and well, how about that from Jabari St-Hilaire? Then Maurice Dick hitting the crossbar, and Tyrone Charles to do the machacha with the defenders. And how about that for finishing? Nothing Poon Lewis could do. 2-0 Rangers. And then Gill and Russ Russell Jr. did everything right. And all he accomplished was shaving paint off the post. And then Poon Lewis, his exhibition of saves began there. Big left palm. And then Tyrone Charles to Francois, and that's how he got his second. A beautiful lob and a wonderful finish. That made it 3-0 to La Horquetta Rangers. And we were looking around for a fat lady to sing, but Karen Cummins had other ideas. The first time shot of the Sean De Silva pass made it 3-1 heading into halftime. But the first minute in the second half, disaster. Tyrone Charles finding the top corner, and when you put them there, It's rare that goalkeepers can get anywhere near. Cummings on the opposite end. Well, he rung the alarm. No success. And then Cornel Charles did that and forced his goalkeeper to do that. And he was doing a lot more of that with beautiful saves, Spoon Lewis. Isaiah Lee came on. He tried his luck. Look at Poon Lewis. Superman. But he couldn't stop that one when it was the self-destruct button from his own defense as they put that into the back of the net. And then a penalty won by Cordell Samuel and dispatched by Kieran Cummings. 5-2, the final score. Terminix Rangers over Westfort. Well, I'll tell you what, Brent Sancho is standing by, and we'll go to him in a second after we take a look at the statistics of this match. An amazing 30 shots to 18. 17 shots on target compared to Westfort's 7. Fouls are pretty even, but look at the corners, a big disparity, 14-7, and 13 saves from Whale Westfort, from Poon Lewis and company. Well, Brent Sancho has our man of the match, and it's Jamal Francois.
Well, thank you very much, James. Of course, I'm standing here with the man of the match, Jamal Francois. Of course, Jamal, 2 goals for you tonight. Good performance. What's your thoughts on the team's performance overall?
Well, first of all, I really work hard for these 2 goals, I appreciate it. We work together as a team and fight and get the 3 points. I'm so happy for this.
Well, you guys have gone since your first game, of course, dropping 2 points. You've gone 5 games undefeated so far. Do you think the tournament is basically in the side pockets of Terminix La Horquetta Rangers?
No. I wouldn't say so. Every game we take the time, we work hard. So we really just have to keep we focus. I wouldn't say
Thank you very much, Jamal Francois. Congratulations again, our man of the match for today's encounter, Jamal Francois.
Thank you.
Of course, we're now going to be joined by the professor of Real Westfort United. Of course, defeated here this afternoon, but a good performance by the team in the second half as we now saddle into having a conversation with the professor, Ron Laffery. Professor, of course, a disappointing result. Where do you think things went wrong for you tonight?
All right, let me say, pleasant good night to each and everyone. Let me just make this point clear in terms of our performance. The performance, I really enjoy our performance, but as mentioned before, we're giving away too much cheap goals. You know this kind of way? We train one thing, and what I saw tonight is something contrary, different to what we train in. I find that we're giving away the ball too easily. This we never train that. I don't have a Hispanic step in, but as I said before, just bear with me, give me some time, and we're still trying to put it together.
Well, certainly a better performance in the second half. What sort of adjustments did you make at halftime?
Right, the Sean De Silva. Even though this Sean De Silva, I had him coming a little more backwards because I started him playing forward, and I realized, well, listen, Sean is a better player coming from behind. So the adjustment was Sean and I used Gibson. So Sean and Gibson, they really give us something to work with. But again, too, for the future, this is something to look at.
Well, congratulations on some of the improvements we saw, of course, Professor Ron Laffery. All the best to you and the Real Westfort team for the rest of the tournament.
Well, I appreciate it, sir.
Thank you very much.
My Lord.
The Professor Ron Laffery, of course, discussing about some of the tactical changes he would have made throughout the game as we saw a steady improvement, certainly in the second half, by the Real Westfort team. We're now joined by the Terminix La Horquetta Rangers head coach Dave Quamina. Of course, Coach won here tonight. Coach, another 3 points, another big scoreline. Things are going well for Terminix La Horquetta Rangers. Talk us through tonight's performance.
First of all, I congratulate the Westport team for entertaining the crowd. I think they had a good game. It was a well fought game for them. I just like to big up the coach and the players on a well fought game. Yeah, first of all, let me say we try to play quick. We try to play organized football. We try to do the same thing over and over, but we still have to work on certain things in our game still.
Well, of course, we saw a tactical adjustment going into the second half. We moved from a 4-back system to a 3. Was there something you saw in the performance that need tweaking going into the second half?
No, I think we've been trying to play this style a while now. We haven't gotten it right as yet, but we try. We're still trying. It's a work in progress, and we'll keep on trying.
Well, thank you very much, Dave Kwamina. And of course, all the best to you and Terminix La Horquetta Rangers for the rest of the Ascension tournament.
Okay, thank you.
Over to you, James.
Well, what a tournament he's have, Dave Kwamina. Let's take a look at the Campari player of the match and player of the week for round 5. And it was a tough tussle, but I think this man won out in the end. Rayon Moore, the national striker. He got 3 goals. First in the 2nd minute. And what a goal that was. And he scored more using his head to get ahead. And then later on, clever play. And Rayon Moore made the day with his 3 goals. And he is our Campari player of the match. $500 from Campari. Well, 5-2 the score. Terminix Rangers getting the victory this evening in a match against Real Westport. Don't forget, tomorrow at the Arima Velodrome, Moruga FC take on Central FC. Defence Force play Cunupia. And on Sunday, Police FC will take on AC Port of Spain at the St. James Barracks. We certainly had fun bringing you all of the action here from La Horquetta in East Trinidad. Until next Friday, on behalf of myself, James Saunders, and my co-commentator, Brent Sancho, we say have a wonderful evening. Catch you later.